Hey, good afternoon, college coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are a new startup company based in Austin, Texas. We're focused on helping student athletes successfully transition from high school to college and then into a career either in the NFL or a career in their major. We are focused really on helping student athletes build out their network through this medium as they're going through recruiting. And then in this aspect, we're also helping them connect with college coaches as we're going through this very interesting COVID-19 recruiting cycle. But like I said, our most important thing is to make sure athletes are successfully transitioning and enabling football, using football to enable them to get the best education and best job and career they can get once football is over. We have another exciting prospect to start out our week this week on the podcast. Anthony Evans III is a class of 23. He's an athlete. He can play a little DB, he can play some receiver. He's great with the ball in his hands. He's from Judson High School, just north of the San Antonio area. He's 5'11", 150 pounds. He's got a strong GPA of 3.5, and he was had the fastest time in 200 meters in the country before COVID-19 shut down the track season. Anthony, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good, sir. How about you?
Man, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us and tell your story. Let's jump right in right now. The first thing college coaches want to know about is that strong GPA. Tell us about the importance that you put on your academics.
My parents have always held my grades against me. You know, grades come first in this household, so they always made sure it was one of my strengths and not one of my weaknesses.
Okay. Tell us, do you have any favorite subjects that drive that GPA?
Yes, sir. Science. I like to know more like the outside world that nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that type of stuff.
Okay. Is science something you plan on majoring in? I know you got a full 3 more years of high school, but do you have an idea what you're going to major in when you get to college?
Health science. I'm
Okay.
majoring in health science.
Nice. Okay.
Yes,
and then tell us, obviously there's always somebody in our lives that helps us maintain our excellence. Are there any teachers, counselors, tutors, or APs at Judson or coaches that you want to shout out that has helped you academically?
I want to shout out my freshman English teacher. You know, she knew the struggles of waking up at 5 o'clock, then having to be on the field full pads at 6, and then being in her classroom at 8:30. That was tough. She knew how tough that was for all the athletes. So she made some adjustments for us, but still held us accountable at the end.
Great. Anybody else?
Well, my mom and my dad, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Hey, another thing the college coaches want to understand about prospects is their learning style. Tell these coaches, are you more of a verbal, visual, or hands-on learning style?
I'm a visual learner. Like, it's always been my thing. I gotta see somebody else do it so I know that that's like the right thing to do.
Is that both for in the classroom and on the field, or is it different based on what environment you're in?
Well, it's not the same on the field because I study like the field and film, so like I don't know what to do before I step on the field.
Okay. You know, there's a lot of student athletes that would love to have a 3.5 GPA and put the focus on it that you do. Give those type of players who don't have a 3.5 one piece of information that helps you maintain your academics.
You just gotta sacrifice your time. A lot of people like to go out here, go to parties, hang with their friends. Just let that go and sacrifice your time and study. There's a big test coming up. Just focus on that test, and then you'll do great.
Yeah, Anthony, I think you nailed it there. I mean, obviously, if you're going to be a successful student athlete, sacrifice is a big part of what we do, but literally sacrificing and time management to put your academics first is how you get the strong GPA. So you're definitely a walking example of that. Tell me also, you talk about your parents and certain teachers, you know, if when football's over, what does your life going to look like? Whenever football's over, what do you want your life to look like?
I just want to be a successful man. And my dad has always wanted his son to be like a successful man that could just make money, you know, do those type of things.
Okay, I like it. Hey, let's rotate to recruiting now. Obviously, we're going through this COVID-19 environment. It changes every day, but tell these college coaches, what have you been doing to stay in shape for the upcoming season?
I work out 2 to 3 times a day on the field and then in the weight room. I always make sure I hit that weight room so I could sustain my strength, because if you're not consistent, you're going to lose it. Same thing with running. Get out of shape. It's hard to get back in shape.
Well, Anthony, with you being an athlete, I know we talked about speed and strength and quickness, but there are position-specific things you need to work on also. With you being a DB and a receiver, how do you find time, or what are you doing to hone the skills for each of those positions?
Study. Watch the greats play. Then you try to execute that on the field during training. Before you get to the game, you can't work something new in warm-ups before the game, so you got to practice it before the game time comes.
Absolutely. Tell these coaches, Anthony, what do you consider your strengths, and what are some of the things you're working on as you get ready for your sophomore season?
My strengths are I'm a leader, I'm coachable. My speed is a real major strength I got. My quickness, and I'm real football smart. Like, I'll study the corner that I'm going to play that week before I play him. And my only weakness is my weight. That's my only weakness.
Yeah, I wouldn't really consider that a weakness. You've got a lot of growing to do over the next 3 years. But since you mentioned it, what do you think your height and weight will be by the time you graduate from Judson?
By the time I graduate, I'm trying to get up to like 190, 6'2". That's what I'm trying to get to. Because I'm playing 6'8", so I can't be average.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be average.
Do you have an idea from the Judson coaching staff whether you'll be focused on the offensive or defensive side of the ball this year?
Offense. I'll be focused on offense this year.
So one of the things I like to do for prospects is I want you to grade yourself in these particular receiver skills. To get between 0 and 10, 10 being the best, what grade would you give your stance?
My stance, I have a real strong base, so I'll probably give that a 8. I've never really got jammed up off my stance or nothing, like tripped up out of my stance. Probably give it an 8. But it's not perfected, so I won't give nothing a 10.
Okay. What would you grade you getting off of press coverage, jam coverage?
Probably like a 8 because quickness off the line.
Okay. And then what about mastering the route tree?
Oh, the route tree, I didn't learn that since I was like 10. So I've known all of them. It's just like people run the route tree different. Like they have the numbers like different than other people will have them. So
okay.
Like an 8.
Then how would you grade your foot quickness coming in and out of your cuts?
9.
Okay. How would you grade your hands, consistent ball catching? What would you give yourself there?
8.
Okay.
I don't drop too many, but some, how that goes.
Okay. What about explosiveness, yards after the catch? How would you grade yourself in that part?
Probably a 9.
Okay. And then what about defensive coverage recognition?
9, study before.
Okay.
So,
And then lastly, what about mental toughness, mental preparation as a receiver? What would you grade yourself there?
9. I won't let nobody get me out of my game,
Okay. Those are very fair grades, man. I like it. I mean, I think that's very consistent. Hey, give us an idea here. There's a lot of, as you know, really good players. The class 23 is very strong at every position. Tell these coaches how you differentiate yourself over other receivers in your class.
How I'm different from them?
Yeah, how you're different from them. How do you separate yourself?
Well, being on varsity, some of these younger players, they won't step up and be a leader. So I'm going to step up and be a leader, no matter if it's my freshman year. I'm going to step up and be a leader. My quickness, I'm very quick and fast. That's how I'm different. Coachable. And, yeah.
Okay. We always talk about leadership. Everybody has different definitions. Tell these college coaches, what's your definition of leadership? And then talk about how you plan on leading as a sophomore this year.
My definition of leadership is the ability to build somebody in the right direction. Well, not in the direction, but in a direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, another thing college coaches want to know about is your relationship with your existing high school staff. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with your position coach, And the head coach at Judson.
Um, I love all my coaches. All my coaches, they'll do a lot for me. But I want to specifically give a shout out to my offense coordinator, which is the head track coach. He gave me the opportunity to run varsity track as a freshman. We didn't have no freshmen on varsity. I don't think they've ever had that before. So it was a great opportunity for me, and he believed in me. So I respect him for that.
Okay. And then what about your head coach? Tell us about that relationship.
My head coach, he's a nice guy. He talks, but like I never really hear him talk like that. He'll yell at us, but like other than that, he won't really talk like that.
Okay. I know you're still very early in the recruiting process, just getting started as you're going to your sophomore year, but tell us, who have you heard from? How many offers do you have, if any? And what's been your recruiting experience so far?
Um, I've talked to some, such as I've heard from Lamar, UTSA. I've talked to LSU before. Um, no offers, not yet. They're coming
Yeah.
though.
Okay. And then who would you like to hear from going forward?
I would like to hear from D1s. I mean, I don't have a specific college that I want to go to just yet. I just want to go. I just know I want to play D1 at the next
Okay.
level.
Okay. And then tell us, have you and your parents, I know it's very early, but have you and your parents sat down and talked about a criteria that will help you decide what school you'll commit to and fulfill your student athlete experience in college?
Yes, my mom really wants me to like go to a smart school like where like HBCUs, aren't those
Mm-hmm.
like smart schools?
Yep.
Yes, they want me to go there and like because they feel like it would be better for me. So like just in case if I don't make it to the NFL, I'll always have that backup plan that's just automatically there.
Okay. What about other things like distance from home, culture, scheme? How about some of those things? Are those things going to be important to your recruiting?
Distance, nah, that really doesn't matter. The culture, I mean, if it's like really cold all the time, I might have to make some adjustments, but it won't stop me from going there.
I hear you on that. Okay. Tell us, you mentioned your parents a little bit earlier, but tell us about a couple of people in your life who've had a positive impact on your life as a student athlete.
My trainers, a lot of my trainers, they've had some positive impacts. That's about it. My
Okay.
parents,
Yep. Who no, is there a certain player at the college or pro level that you pattern your game off of or look up to? Is there a certain receiver that you kind of say, "Hey, I want my game to look like that"? Who is that person?
Deshaun Jackson. I
Okay.
like the way his speed is just on another level. And like his size, he's undersized, so like he's just like me. He's undersized, but he can get right into his routes real quick coming off the line. He'll run straight and just burn by you. That's what I'm out of my game after.
Okay. Anthony, what age did you start playing football, and then when did you fall in love with the game of football?
I believe I started playing at 4, and then I fell in love just at like 8 years old. Yeah, that's when I really started getting into it. Tackle football, all that.
When or if, and you're still young, I'm sure you do, but when did you have that moment in football when you said, "Hey, I'm going to be able to play this game at the college level"? When was that?
Seventh grade, my seventh grade summer, I'm going into eighth grade.
Mm-hmm.
I was training real hard. I was like, now I know a lot of kids aren't really doing this early in the morning. So I was like, this is what I want to do when I grow up.
Okay. Hey, obviously you're at Judson High School, lots of talent there, year in, year out. Take this time to tell these college coaches about some of your teammates that you feel also need to be recruited.
Um, Judson does a great job of getting kids out, so I feel like they're doing their job. Some more receivers like Jonathan Johnson, he's nice. Like his footwork and his speed is on another level, and he's smart. He's real smart.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nah. Well, all my teammates, really.
Yeah.
All my
Tell
teammates.
me who was the best opponent player that you've played against so far that sticks out in your mind?
Um, at a few camps, I went against Aiden Rodriguez from
Yeah.
Brandeis.
Yep.
I went against Zion LeGrant from East
Yep.
Central.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are probably my top competitors that I've gone against.
Okay. We talked about your speed earlier. You're obviously a great athlete. Tell these coaches what other sports do you play at Judson High School?
I run track, and that's about it. I only run track and play football. I stopped playing basketball in like the 8th grade because I
Okay.
coaches told me to focus on football and run track.
Every college coach loves football players that run track. Tell us what events did you run in, and a little bit about your PRs and some of those events.
Um, Track is all about preparation. You can't just go into a race without preparing. So my track times was in the 200 last or a few months ago. I ran a 22:52 or something like that. 22:52 in an indoor track meet with no blocks.
Wow.
Um, no blocks. In the 100, I didn't really get like an accurate time because I only ran the 200 and because you can only run 3 events in high school, so I only ran 200, 4x1, and 4x2. So yeah, those are and my
Okay.
PR all about preparation. I was nervous, but I just had to stay relaxed, and it was just my speed took over.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, tell us one thing that you learn in track that makes you a better football player.
One thing I learned in track that makes me a better football player. Um, Preparation. That's the only
Okay,
thing. Preparation.
that's fair. All right. Hey, simple question, but college coaches will ask you once you get back on campus here. Why do you think your game translates to the college level?
Because I think my game translates because I'm always be a leader. I'm gonna tell somebody if they're doing wrong, if I feel like they're doing wrong, and then guide them to the right spot. My speed is always gonna be there unless I get hurt. You know, coachable, real coachable. If you tell me I'm not doing something right, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it right there on the spot. I won't argue with you. I'm gonna just fix it right there on the spot. Unlike some athletes, they'll think they got everything right and they won't listen.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing coaches want to know about their prospects is their competitive spirit. Describe your competitive spirit to these college coaches.
I'm sure everybody hates losing. Everybody hates losing, but it's a thing that's gonna happen, and you got to realize that everybody like you're not just gonna lose one game in your career. You're gonna lose plenty of games in your career, so it's just a thing that happens. You can't prepare to lose. It just comes. It
Mm-hmm.
just happens.
Okay. That's true. Hey, let's as we finish up here, let's move to learn about you more personally. Tell us a little bit about your family background. Are you the only child? Are you the youngest, the oldest? And tell us a little bit about your parents.
I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I'm the second youngest. I just look up to my older brother because he's a young male athlete in England. He plays soccer,
Wow.
and yeah, my sisters, they're just I don't know. I don't really talk to them like that.
And then what about your parents? What do they do for a living?
My dad is retired from the military, and my mom was in the military too. And then, like, right after she had me, she had to go on the ship. I didn't know that until, like, my mom and dad told me. Right after she had me, she had to go right back on the ship. And I know how bad she was feeling when she had to leave because, like, she wasn't even able to spend no time with me. She just had to go right back on the ship and hope my dad was treating me all right, doing whatever he could for me.
Well, we have a lot of things in common, you and I, not just our first name, but both being military brats. My father was in the Army for 30 years. Shout out to your mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Evans. Thank you for your service, and thank you for doing a great job in raising your son. I appreciate that feedback, Anthony. Tell us about you personally. What are some of your hobbies? What do you do when you're not working out or playing the game of football?
I study the greats, and I like to train younger kids, like younger kids who look up to me. I like to train them and help them be the best athlete and student athlete they can be.
Okay. Are you a video game guy? You a Madden guy, 2K or Call of Duty, or you don't spend time on games?
Yeah, I play those Madden, Call of Duty, 2K. I play those.
Okay. Well, the most important question is: are you taking L's or giving L's?
Call of Duty is hard, so I take L's, but I give L's in 2K and Madden.
Okay. Hey, as you are kind of just now getting into the middle of this recruiting process here coming up, tell these coaches what apps you spend most of your time on. Are you a Twitter guy, Instagram, Snap, TikTok? What do you spend most of your time in?
I'm more of an Instagram guy.
Okay.
It's like more interactive on there. That's my type of thing.
Okay. And then tell us a little bit about your music taste. Who are some of the artists you listen to when you want to get hyped up before a game or for your workouts?
I listen to Lil Baby, NBA Youngboy, Rod Wave. Those are my guys. I like their energy. Yeah, it just pumps me up before a game. Gets me.
Okay. And we're hopefully going to try and get back to school here if we can be safe. What's your shoe game looking like? Are you a big shoe guy or no?
I'm a big shoe guy. I'm a real big shoe guy. I'm rocking the Air Maxes right now. I love Air Maxes. That's my thing. I wear a lot of Jordans. I wear a lot of 11s and 12s, 13s, all those type of stuff.
Okay. Hey, I call this my dream scenario question, Anthony. Let's say you have a great 3 or 4 years in college and you find yourself in New York City for the NFL draft. Tell us who is sitting at your table waiting for the commissioner to call your name.
My mom, my dad, and probably my uncle, because my uncle's been through all of that. He's been through everything. So he'll guide me in the right direction.
Okay. Next to last question here, Anthony. Tell us, what are you doing to give back to your community there around Judson? Are you involved in church? Are you involved with nonprofits? What do you do to give back?
Help younger kids. I love helping younger kids. They look up to me. I try to give them everything that I learned when I was their age and help them prepare for the big level when they get there.
Okay, I like it. Hey, last question. We'll let you get back to your day here. We appreciate your time. Tell us your elevator pitch. Tell these coaches in 30 seconds why they should recruit you and what you're going to bring to their program.
I feel like the coaches should recruit me because I'm a speedster. Everybody likes a speedster. I'm real coachable. My leader skills is on another level. I'm gonna study the DB. I'm gonna know everything he does before I go into that game. I won't just hop into a game not knowing his techniques, what he does. And I'm a preparing type of guy. Like, I can't go into a game not being ready, going to the classroom not being ready for what's going to happen.
Oh man, Anthony, I'm telling you, I am very impressed. Watched your video many times. I evaluate you for some upcoming events with the National Combine and the All-American Game on NBC. I know you're going to be successful and have a great sophomore season. If you or your parents have any questions, please have them reach out to me. Continue to be safe, and I will see you on the sidelines at the Judson game here pretty soon, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.